All right, let's get it. We're gonna go live over on YouTube right now as well. Going live everywhere. What's up, people? Alexander Madison sleeper pickup. Oh, I wouldn't even say a sleeper pickup. He's the pickup of the week. Like you, if there's two, I don't want to say two because I'm gonna make a video on him as well. A sleeper pickup this week is gonna be Sony Michelle. If Sony Michelle is available in your league, you need to pick him up. I don't think Darrell Henderson's gonna play this, so you need to pick him up. Any value in Matt Breida? Like, like, not really. Well, no, I won't say not really. There is value, but it's going to be a committee approach with him, so it's not something that I feel great about. Would you rather start the Patriots defense or Dolphins defense? I would go with the Dolphins defense against they play the Giants. I would play them. Do I trade Cordell and DJ for Waddle and Montgomery? What was that one again? Do I trade Cordell and DJ for Waddle and Montgomery? If you need a win this week, I would. Yo, what's up, people? I had Nick Chubb and DK down 15. Oh, that's rough. Yo, that's bad. Yeah, Seattle. Okay, I know everybody's gonna say Russ sucks, but their offensive line is atrocious right now. Who should I pick up off of waivers if Rodgers is gone? I have Tua and Taysom Hill on waivers. I would go with Tua. I think Rodgers is gonna play this week though. If let me know on YouTube right now. Do you guys hear background music? Is there background music going or no? What's up, everyone? On my team, sir. Debo, CMC, had Derrick Henry, Zeke, maybe. Yeah, that's rough. This week, there wasn't, I don't want to say that it was a big week for injuries because there was a couple players. I guess it was big, but you just had those major players get hurt, and it seems like there's a lot of players like the CMC, Dalvin Cook, Debo. Those were, well, I guess you also had Swift. So it was a pretty big week of injuries this week. It had to be one of the biggest weeks I think so far. I mean, in terms of superstar players, like that was just a lot. It's a lot of guys that are going to miss time on top of a bye week coming up still. So it's rough. Is it Gibby season? Absolutely. Absolutely, it's Gibby season. And here's the thing with Gibson. I made a video. I said sell on Gibson, and here's the reason why. Is because his receiving ability just wasn't there. It hasn't been the whole season. And now what do we see? Well, he's starting to get involved in this offense, and now you have what's his face actually talking about getting him involved. And then also now you have JD McKissick who got hurt. So, McKissick doesn't play this week. Gibson is like a borderline top 5 play this week in fantasy football. Hey, what's up, man? What's up, Jerry? I don't hear any music. Okay, good. Because I have music playing in my headphones, but I don't want to get this taken off of stream because I'll get it taken off of stream for playing music. So I didn't want to have anybody hearing it. Drop Sutton for Van Jefferson or Kendrick Bourne. I would do Kendrick Bourne, yeah. Should I trade Antonio Gibson and Amari Cooper for Zeke and Elijah Mitchell? The wide receiver. Huh? Should I trade? Wait, what is it again? Trade Antonio Gibson and Amari Cooper for Zeke and Elijah Mitchell, the wide receiver. What do you mean by the wide receiver part? Or you mean Elijah Moore? Is that what you're saying? I'm praying that Flacco plays this week because I have no choice. I think Flacco's going to play, yes. I think it's highly unlikely that what's-his-face plays. Zach Wilson plays. I don't think he's going to play this week, so I think Flacco's going to play. With Debo hurt, do I start Mooney, OBJ, or Claypool? Yo, fire up OBJ. OBJ played basically every single snap. Yes, Van Jefferson had that long touchdown, but it was OBJ and Cooper Kupp. This week against Jacksonville. Jacksonville is horrible against the pass. You fire up OBJ this week. Fire him up. Pick up AJ Green or Russell Gage. If I had to play one this week, I would go with Russell Gage. Oh my gosh, Daddy is live. What's up, Tyler? Yo, what's up, Clan? Smash that like button. Yeah, if you haven't already, do me a favor, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're over on YouTube. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree would take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Hey, man, I just got eliminated from playoff contention and my season's over. Thanks for all the help this year, man. Really appreciate you. Oh, no. I'm sorry, got my guy. Toxic. Hey, no problem, man. That's a bummer. It is. I got to win this week in one of my leagues. And yo, this is so annoying because I'm third in points scored. I had an absolutely terrible week because Swift got hurt. I have Aaron Jones in this league right now. I have to win this week or else I'm out. I'm in 9th place. I can still make the playoffs, but my team is really good. I have Swift, Aaron Jones, Elijah Mitchell, Brandon Cooks, Kittle, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Hurts. It's just I can't win a freaking game to save my life. I'm third in points scored, but most points scored against. So it's rough. So I have to win this week or else I'm out. Just sometimes you get unlucky is what it comes down to. Yeah, more. And it's also, oh, okay. So you're saying, oh, Elijah Moore. Okay, I wouldn't do that then. No, I wouldn't trade away. Who were you trading away? What was it again? It was, Antonio Gibson and Amari Cooper for Zeke and Elijah Moore. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Right now with Gibson, I would just fire up Gibson. Zach Wilson brings down everyone's production on the Jets. He does. He has not looked very good at all. Zach Wilson, probably the worst out of all the quarterbacks. Rookie quarterback so far. Easily, I would say. Yeah, easily the worst, I would say. He's been horrible. I mean, the Jets don't have... In the beginning of the season, you had Elijah Moore, who is banged up. You have Corey Davis, who's been hurt. The offensive line has not been great. They've also been missing guys. So it's still year one. It's not a totally fair shake compared to like a guy... I mean, Trevor Lawrence has not been very good either. But those two guys, I mean, that's what happens when you go to... poverty franchise, what everybody likes to say. You know what I mean? It's just, what do you expect? What do you expect for those guys? All right, Madison and Kamara. Yo, I'm firing on Madison this week. Absolutely fire him up with Dalvin Cook on. Against Detroit, absolutely. He's a top 5 running back for me this week. Thoughts on Gaskin this week? Love him. Fire him up. A really good matchup against the New York Giants. I know that the Eagles struggled last week, but it was a fluky game. The Giants are one of the worst run defenses in the league, so fire him up. Schultz or Pat? I would go with Schultz. What's stupid is I have a better record than the whole. Yeah, I mean that's what. Well, I guess. Oh, you do divisions. So what is it? ESPN league? Is that how it is? Toxic? Yeah, I don't like that. Is that ESPN leagues have the divisions? I don't like the whole divisions. I think that's kind of stupid. I just think it should go by standing. I honestly think that total points is probably the best way to do your fantasy leagues. Just because it gets rid of a lot of the randomness with head-to-head. Now, there was a guy who went on a 5-game winning streak in my league, but he had the least points scored. Literally every single week, he was just playing the worst team. He was getting extremely lucky. Now he's like lost 6 straight weeks or something like that. So it's like karma's catching up. It's even itself out, but like there's just a lot of randomness in head-to-head. I think that total points is kind of the best. Yeah, that's kind of stupid toxic. If you're going to do head-to-head, it should 100% go by just overall record. It shouldn't be like this division versus this division. It should just go by overall ranking or record, in my opinion, at least. Tony or Pollard and Zeke's my RB2. I would go with Pollard. What quarterback should I pick up off of waivers? I have Tua, but don't know to start him. Like, who else is available? I think that Tua is a really solid start this week, though. Lockett and Darrell Williams or CD? I'd rather have CD. Aaron Jones and Diggs for Taylor and CD. Who wins? I'd definitely want the Taylor side. Taylor and CD, 100%. Mitchell, Najee, Lenny, Saquon, Hillard. Who do I... 3 to start, so I would go with Mitchell, Najee, Lenny. Sorry, I bumped Saquon down in my rankings. Miami is giving up a decent amount of points to the running back position so far this year, but as of late, they've actually been pretty solid. And actually, their DVOA is actually pretty solid against the run as well. So it's a little bit misleading for Miami. So how do you trust the New York Giants offense? I just don't. And I think Saquon's a phenomenal player, but that offense is freaking terrible. It's horrible. Tyler, I felt your pain with that IG video. Which one? The Big Ben one? Hey, I'll say this, okay? If anybody out there is a Steelers fan, or, there's been so many people that say Big Ben should have retired, and I'm not going to say that he shouldn't have, but I'm going to say this. Like, I think he should have to save himself from this year because it's absolutely trash. This offensive line is pathetic. Anybody, if you If you haven't already, if you didn't watch the game and you have Game Pass, go back and watch the game. Go watch Dan Moore. Okay, I went back last night, watched Dan Moore. He's the left tackle. Literally every single play is getting pushed back into Big Ben's, body. Every single play, he's getting beat. Big Ben has maybe 2 seconds to throw that ball every single play. And the interception, which was a bad decision on the sideline, Mike Hilton took it for a pick six. It was a bad decision in the first place. But Big Ben couldn't even follow through. His arm gets hit right here because literally Dan Moore's ass is touching Big Ben's thigh. He can't even step into the throw because Dan Moore is so bad. He's so bad. How he has a starting job in the NFL blows my mind. How some people, you just sit there and you're like, how is this? Like Devin Bush, he's terrible this year. My gosh, the Steelers are so bad. Don't even get me started. I'll go on a huge rant. My whole league are the top 5 guys 8-4 and from 2 second place is 7-5. So it's really close. So it's so close for the playoff run reverse. That's exciting. This league right now is pretty close. I definitely going to make the playoffs. I'm 9-3. This is one of my better leagues. But yeah, I mean it's still pretty close. Like I guess I could still no, because I have way more points scored than these guys. And the top 6 teams make the playoffs. So I'll definitely make the playoffs. I'm just fighting for it. Oh, I already clinched it. I didn't even notice that. I already clinched a playoff spot. So I'm good. I'm Gucci. In this league. Gage or Javonte Williams. I would go with Javonte Williams this week. Not much if a Steelers fan, but I know Big Ben. If you guys had an O-line, would you guys be a completely different team? No, because the defensive line is horrible. I mean, if your offensive line, okay, Big Ben is in the point of his career. Is he very good? No, I'm not going to say Big Ben is good, but Big Ben is at least serviceable. Okay, I think that there's other quarterbacks out there that I'd much rather have Big Ben on over just because he's an established veteran. But like some people say, go to Mason Rudolph, go to Dwayne Haskins. Nobody's going to do anything on that team with the offensive line. It's horrible, okay? Well, you improve the offensive line so the offense can actually, be something, at least do something, right? Instead of like Big Ben, everybody says he gets the ball out of his hands in, 2 seconds. That's because he has to or else he's getting hit because the offensive line for the past 2 years has been horrendous. It's been horrible, okay? And then on the flip side of the ball, right now, the run defense is freaking terrible. It has been so bad, like historically bad over the past couple of weeks because you go back and put on the film for that game too. I went back and watched it. Your defensive linemen are getting pushed up 6 yards up the field. So like, it don't matter who you're playing. If your offensive linemen are getting beat that bad up the field, they're falling into Devin Bush's lap. Like it's that bad. You're not going to beat any team. And then also on the outside, your cornerbacks are freaking terrible. So when they're getting burned against everybody, you stand no chance. So it's not all on Big Ben. The team is just terrible right now. The Steelers are horrible. They're awful. They might be one of the worst teams in the league right now. But it is what it is. Never starting Cam Newton again. Yeah, Cam Newton, you suck. He jebaited me. I got jebaited by him. Jebaited by that first game back. Bought into the hype of that, Konami cheat code quarterback. Will Swift play? I think it's highly unlikely that Swift plays, unfortunately. Burrow or Herbert? This week, Herbert. I like Herbert. I do like that game. I think that game's going to be a good game. Amari Cooper and Devontae Smith this week. I really like Devontae Smith in a bounce-back week. Ayuk or Gallup? I love Ayuk this week with no Debo. Fire up Ayuk. I think he's a top 20 play. Kamara, Gallup, or Renfro this week. I mean, as long as Kamara plays, I'm definitely playing him. If he doesn't play, then I'm going to go with Renfro. Do you drop Cam? Yeah, I think Cam's fine to drop. Like, if you're in a 2-quarterback Superflex league, no, I wouldn't drop him. He has a bye week. I wouldn't drop him right now, but I would just hold on to him. But if you're in like a 1-quarterback league and you have somebody that's competent, yeah, he's dropped. Who needs me to ratio Cam? Me. I started him in a couple of my leagues that needed a quarterback in. That's exactly what Newton did last year. Start off good and then was awful. Yeah. And we'll see what happens. I think that there's like Miami has gotten a lot better in the recent weeks in terms of the defense. And this is what I thought Miami was going to be at the beginning of the season. I thought Miami, they're one of my dark horses to make the playoffs and possibly go to the Super Bowl. Obviously, I'm talking legit dark horse, not, oh, the Rams are a dark horse this year. Wow, that's a real dark horse there. Wow. I thought the Dolphins were going to be a dark horse, like a legit dark horse, a team that wasn't very good, come back and possibly go to the Super Bowl because that defense was legit last year. They just needed a couple more playmakers along the defensive front, and they had a lot of potential. I thought Tua was going to take a big step, and so far over the past X amount of weeks, I don't know what their how many games they've won in a row now. They look really good defensively, really good. I think at least. Mahomes or Stafford? Honestly, I'm firing up Stafford this week. Love Stafford. Fire up Odell. Feel good about Van Jefferson again this week. Cooper Kupp. I was doing my flex rankings, and obviously I put Jonathan Taylor at number 1 against Houston, but I was like, man, there's a real chance Cooper Kupp could be the number 1 player, non-quarterback scorer this week in fantasy football against Jacksonville. I think he's going to absolutely smash Jacksonville. He's going to dominate that game. Antonio Gibson is the GO. Oh, of course. Here comes MP. Antonio Gibson's the GO. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel will take you over to my YouTube channel where you can get your questions answered. All right, come on over, get your questions answered. And if you are not getting your questions answered, if you're asking, believe me, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions. Hold on, let me type this in the chat real quick. I need to do this in the beginning. Get your questions answered 100% of the time by signing up to be a member for as low as $2.99. Exclamation point membership to sign up. All right. Let's see if that works. Oh, dang it. Be a member. No, I think I did it right. We'll do pen and message. All right. So there we go. Okay. Did I not type in membership right? Member. No, I did. I don't know. All right. So let's get back to answer some questions here. Who do I start? Herbert or Burrow? I would go to Herbert. Gibson or Moore? I would go Gibson for the rest of the season. Yes. McLaurin, Mooney, or Elijah Moore? I would still go with McLaurin. It is a really tough matchup. Las Vegas has been really tough against opposing wide receivers this year. You think Thursday game, Cowboys and Saints, will be a high-scoring game now that Taysom Hill is playing? No, I think Taysom Hill, honestly, I think he sucks. To be completely honest with you, I think Taysom Hill is garbage. I think he's straight garbage. The only reason why there's interest in fantasy football is just because of the rushing ability, especially around the goal line. But I think he's trash. I have 10 seconds away from ultra ratioing Tyler Higbee. Dude stinks more than a garbage can in August. No, that's pretty good, Clan. It was late last night. Yesterday, I was sleepy. I was watching it, and I realized Gibson caught 7 passes. I thought it was a dream. He looked good. And that's the biggest thing with Gibson. As long as he has that receiving ability, he's an RB1. That's why I said last year, or I said this year, I think next year is going to be the year of Antonio Gibson. So I kind of hope he doesn't finish on a good note, to be honest with you. A little selfish because I didn't buy into Antonio Gibson. I actually traded him away a few weeks ago in one of the leagues I had him in. But I'm going to be a little bit selfish and say he doesn't finish on a good note because I think that this is going to be Antonio Gibson is going to be the player next year that's going to be super undervalued because he was overvalued this year and is going to be a great draft pick for the price. Now, we'll see. Obviously, during the summertime, you get everybody hyping people up and people absolutely climb in rankings. And I think that's what's going to happen next year with CMC. I think that everybody hates CMC right now, but I think that next year, as you get closer to draft time, people are going to come around to CMC. Now, if CMC falls into the second round, third round of drafts, like I'll take the risk on CMC there. Like I'll take the risk for sure because if CMC can stay healthy, and the chances are he's probably not going to stay healthy, but if he does, you got an absolute league winner there. Hillard, great call. Chuba, Breida, oh, no problem. Hillard, I told you. Dontrell Hillard, I do get some wrong. I get some right. Dontrell Hillard was a guy that was in my top 20 last week. Sold Gibson for CMC, pain. That is pain. I feel your pain, but it was a good trade. That was a good trade. Is Taysom Hill garbage, or are you trying to avoid saying we them boys? Yo, we them boys should win. Elijah Mitchell's catching passes. Hey, your boy was very high on Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell, that was one player I definitely did get right, I will say. And you can actually go fact check me. That if you go back and look at my tweet, there was a tweet early in the summer, okay? My tweet was, somebody asked, who is a player you're stashing in Dynasty? And I said Elijah Mitchell. He's the guy I'm stashing in Dynasty football. He had all the traits, everything was there, but he was, he was buried on the depth chart. First game, everything worked out perfectly for Elijah Mitchell this year, and now you're seeing it. The dude is a stud. He was a stud in college. Checked off all the boxes in college. Literally every single box was very productive. His yards per carry. His build is all right. Like, obviously could be a little bit bigger, but build, he's toned. He's also, athletically really good. Like, everything checked the box for Elijah Mitchell, just was buried on the depth chart. Hillard, great call. Chuba Hubbard, Breida, or Bourne. I didn't answer that one. So are you talking in terms of picking up somebody? Like, I would probably pick up Chuba Hubbard just because he's the running back. It would be between Chuba Hubbard or Bourne. If you need somebody to play this week, honestly, I would go with Bourne. Like, Breida would be a good play again if Zach Moss doesn't play, but I don't know if Zach Moss is going to play again or not. Cowboys or Vikings defense? I'm firing up the Vikings defense. I love the Vikings defense this week. He was playing Seattle, so it's still a toss-up on how well he's going to be. I think Antonio Gibson is just a stud. Okay, here's the thing with Antonio Gibson. I absolutely love the talent, didn't love his usage. And if he's going to be, like we saw, 7 catches, that's beautiful. If he's going to be used like that, he's an absolute bona fide RB1. Easy RB1 every single week. And if J.D. McKissick is not there, if he's hurt, Antonio Gibson is a top 5 running back this week. Top 5 running back, absolutely. Pick 2, we got Mooney, Renfro, Lockett. I'm still going with Lockett, and I'm going with Mooney. Mooney and Lockett for me. Boys or Vikings defense? Vikings defense. Where the hell did Matt Breida come from? Yo, Matt Breida. He's like the Undertaker. He's not going away. He's not going away. Drop New England's defense, right? If you're looking at, like, you need a defense to play this week, I definitely wouldn't be playing the New England's defense. And then they have a bye week next week. So I would try to hold, like, this is the time of the year where you do a couple things this time of the year, okay? Number one, you pick up running back depth. I picked up, in a bunch of my leagues, I picked up Sony Michelle last week, and that might work out because it looks like what's-his-face is dealing with a quad strain, and I really think that Darrell Henderson's going to miss this week. So you need to be picking up the backup running backs. Get rid of guys that you're probably not going to play, like if you're holding on to, like, a Corey Davis, maybe you have, I don't even know who else you would have. Just somebody that, like, you don't play if there's a guy that's been riding your bench and you have not really played him at all this season, get rid of him. Pick up Marlon Mack. You pick up all these other guys, like your backup running backs, your true guys who will see an immediate fantasy impact if the guy ahead of them goes down. And also you pick up defenses. As you're making that playoff push, you start to look at matchups, start picking up defenses. That way you don't have to hope you get them on waivers. Start doing those things. That's how you start securing your spot in the fantasy playoffs and win in the fantasy playoffs. Standard scoring: Higbee, Foster, Moreau, Jared Cook, or Jack Doyle. As long as Waller's out, Foster Moreau for me is the top 10 play this week. New England has Buffalo twice. Yeah. Then go ahead and drop him. That's no bueno. I know my season is over, but I still want to play next week. So pick 3: Eckler, Patterson, Mitchell, Connor. Eckler. Gosh, I told a lot of people to sit Patterson. That totally burned me. But I'm going Eckler, Mitchell, Connor. As long as Chase Edmonds is out. If Chase Edmonds is out, then I'm going to go with Patterson. Or if Chase Edmonds is playing, then I'm going to go with Patterson. If Chase Edmonds is out again, fire up Chase Connor as a top 10 play. He'll be a bell cow back in the league's possible best offense. he had 36 touches this week for 150 yards. One of them was a 50. One of his 50-yard runs got called back. He scored 25 with no touchdowns. Imagine JD didn't steal TDs and Carter blocks. He has 40 this week. Yeah, he would have had a monster week. Well, what if my aunt was my uncle? What if? What do you think of Godwin after his poor performance? Will Gronk and AB affect him? Yeah, but I think that this game is a really solid game for him this week. I'm totally all in on Godwin and Mike Evans. I know that they're disappointing this past week, but I'm totally all in on them again. And that's kind of what you get with these guys, week to week it varies. One week they'll have a massive week. It's kind of like Tyler Lockett, right? Where 1 week he'll be 2 points, the next week 40 points. That's just what you get with these guys week to week. In a crowded offense with a lot of other mouths to feed, especially Tampa Bay right now. But in a very good matchup against Atlanta, honestly, both of those guys, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, are top 10 plays at the wide receiver position. Starters this week: Dak, Barkley, Mitchell, McLaurin, Kupp, Higbee, Terrell Williams. Bench: Jeff Wilson and Beasley. Iffy on Beasley because Belichick usually goes after the number one wide receiver. Yeah, so me personally, I would fire up Beasley over Terrell Williams. That's what I would do, Jonathan. That's one thing I would do differently. I would fire him up. I'm number one in my league. I have Lamar, Jonathan Taylor, Mixon. That's why. Those two guys right there are carrying fantasy team. Hollywood, he's been solid too. McLaurin, Andrews, Montgomery at flex. Nick Folk, he's been a beast too. Eagles defense, I have Mooney, CH, Landry, Hunt, Renfro. Subs? No, I think that's pretty good for the starting lineup. That's what I would do. I think it's maximized. I think it's good there, Cody. Should I start Javonte Williams or Elijah Moore? I would go Javonte Williams. Foster, Schultz, or Logan Thomas? I still like Schultz there. I like Schultz. Thoughts on Hillard? Okay, here's my only pause for concern with Hillard. And I'll be right back. I think my pizza's here. I'll be right back. All right. Tyler ghosted us. No, pizza's here. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. I'm gonna go live later tonight as well. Had to get some pizza because my wife's not home. So nobody's here to cook, and I'm not cooking. I'm not. Well, I'm good at smoking meat. That's good. All right. So a couple more questions here, and then I'm gonna hop off. All right. So let's see. Is there a chance Chase Edmonds plays? I think he's available for return from IR. So I haven't heard anything on Chase Edmonds yet. I was looking yesterday. I have not heard anything. So we'll have to see what exactly happens with Chase Edmonds. I don't have anything. I just heard it. Kirk Cousins or Emmanuel Sanders? Kirk Cousins. Had Swift and Cook. What do I do? That's rough. You keep grinding, okay? Check out the waiver wire video. Hate to say it, but Tevin Coleman, Rex Burkhead this week. Those are viable guys if they're available in your leagues. See if, Alexander Madison somehow still there. Sony Michelle, those are kind of guys. I'm currently 6-6 fighting for playoffs. I have stream my quarterback. Any tips? Flex. No, I mean, you're fighting for the playoffs. Okay, so I mean, you just got to trade it. Like some people do this, okay, where they look a little bit too far ahead. Well, if I make the playoffs, then I need to be doing this. Like you can't be doing that when you're fighting for the playoffs. You need to treat it week by week. So right now, hey, if you need to drop somebody to get somebody else on your team, then and you're like, well, geez, this guy could do well next week. Who cares? You need to win this week, so that's just how you got to treat it. Don't look at players that were playing really well at the beginning of the season, haven't done anything since. You need to play the guys who are playing well right now because we basically have people figured out by now. I just got lucky, my man. The other leagues I'm in are poop. Yo, my leagues right now I'm in my leagues are pretty solid, I got to say. Most of my leagues. Is it time to start taking Hunter Renfrow seriously in fantasy football? Absolutely. I mean, I've liked Hunter Renfrow ever since, I talked about him when Henry Ruggs, the whole thing with Henry Ruggs is gone. Is it time to stop taking DK seriously? No, because here's the thing with with Seattle right now. Like, in my opinion, Seattle, their offensive line is just so bad. Their offensive line is very bad. And I know, that's easy to say, but really it is if you look at all the statistics and look at the game last night. Like, Russ didn't have a whole lot of time. Now, when Russ does have some times, though, he's not making a very good read. As they were pointing out last night, like, he took a big shot to DK down the left side towards the end of the game when he had, I forget who it is, maybe Gerald Everett across the middle, wide open. Like, I just think that sometimes Russ falls into this habit of just always wanting to take the big shot. Like, I think that sometimes he just gets too comfortable with doing that. But I just think, number one, this offensive line is horrible. And when, like, think of it in terms of a quarterback, okay? If you don't trust the guys that are ahead of you, how are you going to feel comfortable in that pocket and step up every single play and make a throw? Like, sometimes shit just doesn't happen. What pizza you getting from where? It's a place called Valerio's around my house. Got Alexander Madison last week, and I still got Eckler. Yo, look at this team. Look at my team right now, okay? This team, this is, like, probably my best. I drafted incredibly well. Like, all my draft picks hit in this league. Like, literally, I'm playing with the team that I drafted. So my team is amazing. Okay. Jalen Hurts, Tyler Lockett, hasn't been that great. Brandon Cooks, meh. T. Higgins, meh. Joe Mixon, though, now Alexander Madison. Zach Ertz, has been pretty solid as of late. James Conner, Darrell Henderson, DeAndre Swift, Alvin Kamara, AJ Brown has been a bust, but like, look at those running backs. I have like 5 running backs this week, and I don't know what to do. Like, Alvin Kamara, if he doesn't play, that makes my decision easier. DeAndre Swift, if he doesn't play, that makes my decision a lot easier. Hopefully, Darrell Henderson doesn't play, because then that makes my decision very easy. But like, if all these running backs go, I have no idea who to play this week. I have an idea, but it's like all these guys are like top 10 running backs. It's nuts. I'm a Seahawks fan. Yeah, Russ goes to deep shots way too much. He never checks it down. It's so frustrating. Yeah, I feel like that's just how it's kind of been. Like, He just gets way too comfortable with that deep ball sometimes. Been having bad luck with touchdowns lately. Scored 135 points this week. Mitchell was the only one that scored a touchdown. Touchdowns are fluky in fantasy football. It's the hardest thing to try to predict. They're incredibly difficult. Trade away Keenan Allen, Deontay for Adams. If you're just looking to upgrade the position, yeah. But I mean, those are two really stud guys that I love. Yo, Tyler, check the score from our game. You won somehow. No, I didn't. I know I lost. I don't care. Okay. Next year, we're going to get in a league where we're actually going to play from the beginning. That's going to be great. Wouldn't it be iconic if Oklahoma signs Pete Carroll and after Seahawks fire? I doubt the Seahawks are going to fire him, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. Yo, I'm going to hop off. I'll be live later tonight. I'm going to go live again. I'm going to go eat some food, put my kids to bed, and I'll be live later tonight. So make sure you check it out. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, all that kind of stuff. Peace out, people. I'll talk to you later tonight. Peace.